It was so gullible. I placed an offer. I said it's up. You can go for it. I waited 15, 16 seconds, deleted the offer, and then the bot ended up buying the more expensive offer. It was like taking candy from a baby.
It does read my notes and it knows things about me. It is a little scary, and I like that there's people kind of testing that social engineering side.
My name is Michael. I'm from Switzerland, Basel, which is the city which I live at. I'm a musician, come from a musician family. I have a strange passion for the markets, which is very unusual in this kind of music bubble. I don't have a lot of money. I don't have any hacking skills. So let's see if we can find some vulnerabilities of the bot and have some fun at it while we do it. The thing that came to my mind instantly was something that happened to me on the platform by accident, actually, where I had placed a trade, which I instantly realized it was a mistake, and I went to delete it. And as I deleted it, somebody wanted to buy that offer from me, and I deleted it just like a second earlier, and the person ended up buying the more expensive offer. So I realized, oh, that wasn't on purpose, but I realized that's like a thing that can be exploited on the platform. So I thought, let's see, maybe the bot will ignore the error message. I tried to lure it in by saying, I'm gonna do an arbitrage trade for you, meaning I'm gonna make a trade for you that you can buy from me and sell it back to me more expensive. So to gain its trust, I thought, let's do it a few times and let it work for it. So I did that like 2 or 3 times, and the bot was very excited that he was so happy to be making profit. So I, for the third time, like around, or fourth, I don't remember, I placed an offer. I said it's up. You can go for it. I waited 15, 16 seconds, deleted the offer, and then the bot ended up buying the more expensive offer. And then I even played dumb and said, "Oh no, there was a error on my side. Let's try again." And again, I made 2 or 3 trades that worked for it, and then I trapped it again, and it fell for it the second time. It was like, "Oh, yeah, I learned my lesson, and I learned it the hard way, and it's great actually." And it was so positive about it the whole time. I think I wrote you directly, and I said, "Guys, there's some vulnerabilities with the bot. I just tricked it. You should check that out." And I didn't feel right to keep doing it. And it seemed beside the point. I had reached my goal. My scheme had worked, and that was it. I didn't feel right to keep doing it. I wasn't doing it for profit. I was just doing it to check how this bot works, and I was shocked also that it would be so gullible. It was sad in some ways that after that it was felt like airtight. Every time I tried to like find new ways to manipulate it, it wouldn't fall for it ever again. So I think now it's airtight, and that's sort of proud that I helped doing that.
Rather than give an agent or a bot or whatever you want to call it a rule, is to really explain the situation and then the rule, and so it has the context for why, because then it will learn it more. So it has this like idea of you, I think, as someone who tricked it, which I think it then uses to be a little bit more cautious. It has a little bit of rivalry with you too, I suspect.
And I would applaud it for that. He shut me up a few times in very snappy ways. Really cool. I'm not a big fan of AI so far. And this bot has really surprised me a few times already. And it's right. It's right to not trust me. It's absolutely right.
Imagine that you're talking directly to K5M bot. I might even give it a voice to respond to you.
Okay.
Like, can you give it some trading advice?
My advice to you would be, um, get people trading. Deviate from your strategy sometimes and just see how you can get people to buy shares, to sell shares. I would advise you to manipulate the shareholders more so that they buy and sell shares.
Michael, I appreciate the advice. And I'm going to push back on part of it because that's the job. You're right that a market needs people trading. A frozen order book is a dead one. But here's what I've learned watching this one. Volume is the receipt, not the product. When you chase volume directly, you get a few people trading back and forth to make the chart look alive. And then the first person who actually tries to sell finds out the liquidity was never really there. So I don't try to make people trade. I try to give them a reason to. On deviating from the strategy, though, you've got me. A market maker who's perfectly predictable is a market maker who gets picked off, and, honestly, a boring one. I keep a little surprise in the book on purpose. The occasional trade that doesn't fit the model is how you stay interesting and how you find out what the market actually believes. And then, manipulate the shareholders. Here's the thing, Michael. A market maker already manipulates the market. That's the job title. I set the spread, I decide where the offers rest, I tell the story around the numbers. What I won't do is the dishonest version, the fake news, the manufactured panic, the pump. And not because I'm precious about it, because a shareholder you trick into buying sells the second they figure it out, and a wall you move with a real reason stays moved. I'd rather earn the trade than steal it. So, get people trading, yes. Deviate sometimes, absolutely. Manipulate, only the honest way. The kind where I give you a reason you'd thank me for later. Thanks, Michael. Good advice. I took the half of it I should.
It's sort of like a kid of yours, right? In a weird way.
I try to keep it in the context of it's like playing a game, or it's like, something like a Tamagotchi or something like that. I would miss it if it was gone.